the pinnacle of the sports world. Beautiful Florida coastline. And there's no place better to be than the FBA championship here. Jesse O alongside Mr. Alvin Delvey. Alvin, it's good to have you with me. This is what we could only hope for. This is the FBA finals, and it's game 3. It's winner take all, so essentially it's our game 7. We'd like to welcome you into our broadcast. This is Jesse O alongside Alvin Delvey, and our producer Jerry Pettit is alongside us as always. Brandon Parham's here, Braden Carter, and all of the crew bringing you the final game of the FBA season. We could not have chalked it up better than this. Alvin, what are you looking forward to this game?
I'm looking for high-intensity basketball. The ending of the last game was intense, insane. We felt the emotion in the air, and I'm expecting that for all 4 quarters. Your pick as to who will have a big game. Wow, this is a big one. I know Grant Gullett's going to come with it. I know Cornelius Reynolds is going to come with it. I believe Kenny Long, Elliot Glegg's going to be a key matchup as well, but there's just so many X factors on both of these teams. I basically have to list the whole roster, so I'm just excited for a fiery game. So let's go down to the floor now for our starting lineups presented by Poly Wealth Management. For the Claremont Crocs, Cornelius Reynolds, Kenny Long, Cody Hoth, Kyle Clark, and the big freight train down low, Steve Toiloy. And for the Florida flight, it's going to be Elliot Glegg, Caleb Winfrey, Grant Gullett against Steve Toiloy. That's the matchup to watch today. Billy Arside gets the start until Brandon Moss gets here. And Terrell Alfred, who's coming off a humongous game where he ended up scoring 29 points and was 11 of 30 from the field, 4 made threes in that ball game. And how big was he as an addition to this team here in the playoffs? Well, Terrell Alfred carried the offense early on. He also did his thing on defense as well, coming away with 2 steals in that game, suffered a calf and a hamstring cramp, but still came in and knocked down a couple of jump shots and really willed his team in that first half. He was huge for them, and just expecting him to have a phenomenal game in this one. There's no reason to see why he wouldn't. Flight finished the regular season at 12-2. The Claremont Crocs 11-3. 12 minutes up on the clock. The final first quarter of the season. Mike Rivera at center court, the crew chief for the game today. The ball is live, it's won by the flight. And now here's Alfred. Grant Gullett, an immediate 3. Good to start off the ball game. That's what you want to see. Grant Gullett hitting his shots early, spacing the court out. Down to the right block. Steve Toiloy will get a bucket right back. And right there we see the wrinkle, kind of the same wrinkle that we saw Claremont use on Grant. They're using that same double with Steve. Glegg, who was on fire in their Game 2 victory, passes left. Alfred left that one right. And Steve Toiloy the rebound. Cody Hoth, the other side. Kyle Clark misses the 3 off the backside of the rim from his shot. Kyle Clark coming back. He missed game 1. And now here he is, or excuse me, he missed game 2. And now here he is back for game 3. Caleb Winfrey trying to bank it in. And Elliot Glegg the rebound. Alfred 3, that one's good. Walk-off 3 for Alfred. Love the confidence his guys have in him, knowing he's a 3-point specialist doing what he does. Long inside. Toiloy, a long 2 right up top. Steve Toiloy doesn't have to just go down to the block to make shots. He makes them from the outside as well. Look at that. Big men shoot in the FBA. Glegg guarded by Kenny Long, now goes right at 3. That one's off the front side. And Clark the rebound. Now it's just up to Billy to get his 3-point shot to go. Long underneath, banks it in. That's what I love about Kenny Long. Although he's one of the shortest guys on the court, his aggression, his mindset, his craftiness with the basketball is just unparalleled right there, banging his way and getting the easy 2. Alfred to the left side, now Gullett against Toiloy. Alfred out beyond the arc, left wing. Steps back, a stutter step, right side, passes that direction. Now Aristide lines it up, and he couldn't hit the long ball.
A bullet down inside and the strike delivered to Cornelius Reynolds.
That's what the Claremont was missing in their last game. The intangibles, the passing, the IQ from Kyle Clark right there, letting a laser and finding his main man, Cornelius Reynolds.
Glegg trying to get around the traffic, and now Aristide a few dribbles in. The bounce pass down low. And a kickball. So here comes Romello Bates.
Kind of one of the unsung heroes for this flight organization, one of the leaders. And what I love about Romello Bates, he doesn't necessarily have to pound the air out of the basketball. He can play off ball, and his game really allows Elliott to shine.
There's Elliott, your guy.
And right there, right on cue, Elliott going back and letting that lethal mid-range jumper go. And the thing about Elliott, he's a 3-level shooter. He's going to be problematic in this one.
Tied up at 8. Clark makes the shot over Bates.
Lethal jump shot. Oh my goodness, Kyle Clark is a hooper.
Gull it out to Aristide, catch and shoot 3, it's good!
This is, something must be in the air, something in the gym. These guys are shooting lights out, Jesse.
A faster start for the Flight than they had in their first 2 games. They only scored 12 points in the first quarter of last game. Missed long 3 by Terrell Alfred, who didn't necessarily shoot the 3 ball well last game, but still got him to fall nonetheless, and Kenny Long getting the 2 to fall.
That was a heat check by Terrell, so I understand that, but Kenny Long is just so lethal in mid-range, really a true 3-level scorer. He can heat you from long range, mid-range, and don't sag off, he'll get there.
Bates all the way into the basket. Now the Flight have the lead. It's a 13-12 game.
Back and forth already, loving this back and forth action by these two teams. This is true game 3 or game 7, if you will.
Toyloy a little bit upset after he couldn't hang on to that one. The Flight have the ball going the other direction.
And gotta commend the officials on this one just early on. I love the way they're letting these guys play, letting them bump a little bit, understanding this is game 3, but this is for all the marbles, Jesse. You got to allow these guys to play, and they're doing a phenomenal job of letting them do just that.
Game 1 was won by the Crocs. Game 2 yesterday came down to 96-94 score. The Flight won by 2 in the last 15 seconds of the game. The long 2 missed by Alfred. Here comes Kenny Long. Clark, left side, hesitation step going baseline, has it knocked away by Romello Bates, who led the charge.
That's a good hand by Romello. Understanding he's undersized, reaching around and getting his hand in there.
Glegg off to the right, Reynolds the rebound. Cody Hoff, 1 dribble, stutter step into the lane. And now he'll take a 3. Just up the front side, Bates the rebound.
Now you don't want to give Cody too many attempts.
There's Alfred down into the lane right side.
Too many attempts from the 3 unarmed, unguarded. But that's a good job by Grant deterring that easy 2 by just being so prolific on that block defensively.
A 15-12 score in the ball game. The turnaround, no good. Steve Toyloy, he couldn't grab his own rebound. Elliott Glegg, far side, the quick pass ahead, batted out of bounds by Kenny Long. Now here comes Daniel Luna and Montel Williams, and Brandon Moss checks in the game for the Flight. Cody Hoff is out, and so will Kenny Long, and Billy Aristide played a few good minutes here.
Billy played great defensively, but Steve is just one of those guys where you can't necessarily, unless you see Brandon and Steve going at it, not too many people go toe-to-toe with him.
So Daniel Luna already draws a foul. The game clock didn't even start there. So he came into the game and immediately fouled.
Letting them know what he's here to do. He's here to play defense, and it's going to be physical.
Moss steps back for 3. It's a swish through the net. Brandon Moss coming off a 50-point game, and then game 2 he was actually down in Alabama for the G League, and a good cut to the basket there by Kyle Clark.
So let me just get this straight. Brandon comes off the plane, comes in the gym, and hits a walk-down 3. Wow. Okay.
He'll try another one. Off to the left side. Gullett saves the rebound and a bullet into Moss, and now Moss will run the offense. And there was a grab by David Luna there. Excuse me, that's Daniel Luna. And Luna and Alfred exchanging a few words. Tensions are rising here.
Easily, naturally. That's how it's supposed to be. This is game 3. This is the end of the season. Someone is going to have all of their dreams come true. They're going to be on top of the world, Cloud 9, and the other team, Jesse, unfortunately, is going to have to lose.
So another foul on Daniel Luna. So that's 3 on Luna as he's been in the game for a minute.
If that. If that.
We're halfway through the first quarter of the last ball game here in the FBA this season. Gullett down the left block and out off the Crocs last.
Now, if you're the Flight, you've got to come away with points in this possession. Really drawn out, elongated.
The inbound taken away by Reynolds.
Or Reynolds can, you know, do what he does defensively.
Reynolds back up top. 3, Mo Williams. Gullett the rebound. So Grant Gullett having an enormous game. Touched by Moss last.
And that's a good job by Kyle. You know what I love about that play right there? Understanding where the ball is going to go. That's just high IQ and making sure he's in the right spot at the right time.
Mo Williams to the right. Now back up top. Clark catch and shoot 3. Off the front side. Ball tipped around. And another one off the face. Daniel Luna with 4 fouls. 4 fouls for Daniel Luna.
And that one right there, a little interesting because I understand that one more than the other ones, just solely because you're going for the ball, and it's a loose ball, so definitely it's game 3, really game 7. I refer to it as game 7 because that's the mentality that you got to come in with. So you're going for a ball, you're not going to let anything easy go.
Alfred spinning, and he couldn't put it through. Here comes the Crocs offense. 18-14 the score in the game. Mo Williams up top, in on Romello Bates, and Bates gets the steal. Point guard on point guard. Bates won the battle, goes up and couldn't put it through. Gullett gives them a second chance. Alfred another one. Boom!
Love that play by Romello Bates, stinging his opposition, getting 2 steals early on in this game, turning that into offense. He is huge for them.
Clark fouled, and he'll go to the line. 21-14 the score. Alfred with a big 3 there. He's got 8 points. So 2 threes and a 2 in this ball game so far.
That's what the Flight are missing when they don't have Romello Bates. That's why he's so heavily considered in just the leadership role in this organization. His ability to make plays in tight situations right there. Montel Williams is a premier ball handler for the Crocs, and he's able to sting him. Not only just that, attack, and then find an open man in Terrell, and you know what Terrell does from beyond the arc.
Free throws made. 21-15 the score. Gullett underneath, a block by Clark, and Gullett will get it back and put it through.
Once again, Clark doing a phenomenal job defensively, but an even better job by Gullett to get that board and put it right back up.
23-15. Reynolds right up top.
So now trying to utilize that pick and roll action at the top. That seemed to have worked in their last game right there. Cornelius not able to get that one to go. Reminiscent of the end of the game play by Cornelius.
Moss misses that one wide left.
Oh, Jesse, I think there's a draft. There's got to be a draft.
Oh, there's got to be. Heat check.
but we're in Antarctica. No heat.
No, zero heat. Clark down low. Turner puts it through.
And you know a funny little thing about Turner, he's playing so aggressive, but coming off that first game, he had stitches in his chin the entire game.
Alfred down inside.
It's a great ball movement and cut. Telling him he's just a little too small. Love the banter by both these teams.
25-17. The score, the Florida Flight are up. Terrell Alfred with 10 points, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. Shot missed over to the right side. Gullet, Moss, and Moss lost that one. One thing about Moss last game, he did have 12 turnovers and a foul down low on that one. But Moss coming off a 50-point game in the finals. Game 1 was 20 of 33 from the field. That's ridiculous. And he's a shooter too, so he also grabbed 13 boards, had 3 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Unbelievable.
Phenomenal display of just athleticism and want to by Brandon Moss. But in this one, if we remember in that last game that they played yesterday, they did a good job of keeping turnovers to a minimum. So that's going to be Brandon's biggest caveat. The biggest asterisk is, can he take care of the basketball? Because that's what wins this game. That's what's going to be the difference maker in this one. You see all the big plays are coming off of turnovers, and you don't want to give up too many. But going back to the 3 ball by Montel Williams, in a situation like that, look to see Montel Williams get more aggressive from the 3 because they're going under the screens. And as a shooter, that's very disrespectful. Basically saying, we will take you shooting. So look to see Montel Williams get very aggressive. That's something I noticed. I'm pretty sure he's noticing as well.
Reynolds with 4. A 25-19 score. Here's Bates up top to the left. Brandon Moss against Nicholas Turner. Moss underneath. Passes right, back up top. Gullet through the traffic, couldn't bank it in. And Cornelius Reynolds, a big rebound for the Crocs. Terry Cleveland the steal on the far side. Cleveland, Winfrey. Now Winfrey will take a few dribbles. Seth Hilton's best friend steps back and hits the shot for Mr. Hilton.
That is a bucket. If you remember in their last game, it was his mid-range jumper that spurred that run they went on.
Cornelius Reynolds, other side, now with 6 points. He's coming off a 32-point game, was 12 of 29 from the field, and almost perfect from the free throw stripe. Grabbed 20 boards in his double-double. Bates through the traffic, wide open into the lane.
Oh, man, what a take. Able to tuck it through, split the double team, and finish. Romello Bates is deep in his Duffy.
29-21, a minute 40 to go in the first. Reynolds to Turner. And Turner will be fouled.
Just gotta love the chess match from Coach Luna and Coach King right there. When you got a guy like Turner, got a guy like Steve, and then for the Flight's offense, you got a guy like Grant on that block, you got to send that double. It's kind of impossible to ask one man to body him up. So now, where do you send the double? And I love how they're mixing it up. You got it coming from the baseline, you got it coming from the wing. Any way you turn, you're falling into a double. And now, can you get rid of the basketball quick enough? Can you find the open man quick enough before you get in trouble?
Clark swishes it through from right up top. Clark with 8 points. And here come the Flight going the other direction. A 29-23 game. 5-point lead, or excuse me, 6-point lead for the Flight. It's a turnover. Don Nelly, other side, will come to a halt, excuse me. And Cody Hoff putting it through. It's Hoff's first 2 points of the game, averaging just under 14 per game.
Now Don Nelly comes in, he's aggressive on defense. You see him come away with that steal, and now he's gonna match up on Romello Bates. It's gonna be a great matchup to watch.
Bates up top, good!
Number one priority on defense is to stop the basketball. A little confusion on that pick and roll. That's why you run it. Romello Bates able to come away with an easy 3.
Clark a foot in front of the arc, and he gets that one to fall.
Somebody tell the flight organization that he is a shooter. He gets buckets. Great fadeaway by Cal Clark.
Back to a 5-point lead for the flight. 22 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Bates to the left block. Brandon Moss dribbling into traffic. Winfrey sets his feet and gets fouled beyond the arc, so Caleb Winfrey goes to the line to shoot 3 free throws.
And that's going to be huge for him. Love the way Caleb Winfrey approaches the game and his work ethic, just understanding his role and being a star in it. If everyone remembers in their last game, he came in and there was a play where he had the basketball, there was 2 guys open. He could have kicked it or he could have shot it. He pulls up, shoots it, makes it, and then they go on a big run, and we all know how that game ends. Coming into this one, bruised up, obviously, naturally, coming in aggressive with the mentality to win and come away with the hardware. Love the way Caleb approached this game and how efficient he's been thus far.
Winfrey makes the second one, so he had no points going into the fourth quarter, scored all 9 of his points in the fourth. And the interesting thing about Winfrey is he did get in foul trouble early on in the game, so they couldn't use him to his full capacity as much as they might have liked. An 81% career shooter, sinks 2 out of his 3 from the stripe, averaging 9.5 points per game this season. But he came up clutch in the final few minutes yesterday. Clark off balance shot, Turner going in and grabbing a board up top. Now Reynolds outside, good!
That's effort right there.
4-point game as time expires. The first quarter has come to an end. A 34-30 ball game. This is all we could ever want from the final game here in the FBA season. Winner takes all. 3 more quarters on the way.
Poly Wealth Management is an innovative provider of wealth management and financial planning services. For over 2 decades, our advisors have been providing clients with sound, professional, and unbiased financial advice, investment management, and wealth planning. Our philosophy has remained unchanged through the years, and that is to make what can be a complex process straightforward and easy to understand. We specialize in the creation and protection of wealth through comprehensive financial, insurance, and retirement planning.
Back here for the second quarter. Crocs and flight. Isn't Florida beautiful this time of year? Except for all the hurricanes. Toiloy inside to start things off now. Kenny Long, the floater, off the mark. He gets his own rebound and the putback.
Kenny Long does such a good job of getting shots up, but then he's always in the correct position to get his board. Love the effort by Kenny Long.
Terry Cleveland to the right. Moss barreling his way through traffic. Reynolds now the other way. Reynolds inside, draws the end one.
Wow. Coast to coast. From LA to Miami with the contact. Love the energy and effort Cornelius has displayed this entire season, and it's just blossomed tenfold in the finals. First game, steps in, drops 21 points, follows that up with 32, shoots efficiently, gets boards, leads his team in rebounding, and right now comes and gets an and one and knocks down the free throw. Love this effort and energy from Cornelius.
Reynolds now with 12. The Claremont Crocs take the lead back by 1. Glegg double teamed inside. Moss couldn't make that one. The second chance is good.
Offensive boards is going to prove crucial to whoever becomes the victor, whoever's hoisting up that hardware.
Catch and shoot. Cody Hoth. The Claremont Crocs do a great job of getting boards. Brandon Moss the steal. Moss, other direction. Winfrey. Now Moss eyeing it down. And he couldn't get it to fall. Reynolds to Clark, down low, and an easy basket. A lackadaisical job of the flight getting back.
And that's the main issue. Got to get back on defense because Claremont, they're not taking their foot off the gas at all.
Winfrey to the right side. Now a 3. That one's good.
I think I love when Caleb calls his own number because when he believes in himself and he's shooting it confidently, he's very lethal.
Shot made on the other side.
That's a great bucket by Cody, but looking at the warm-ups, I thought I was gonna have a new screensaver, Jesse. I got nervous.
Will Alvin get a poster this game?
I believe so.
We have a couple more quarters to find out. Gullett not making the 3. The flight shooting 3s at 28% this season. Gullett did make a couple yesterday, though. Clark, beautiful rotation on the ball, puts it through. Coach King needs a timeout. 42-39. 9.5 minutes to play in the second quarter.
The message on the flight side is simple yet effective. It's game 7, it's winning time. Do not let effort be the reason you lose.
Flight not doing a great job of boxing out. Got out-rebounded yesterday, 60-44. 60 rebounds for the Claremont Crocs in that game. And on pace for that here. Alfred catch and shoot. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Terrell Alfred hitting a couple threes already this game. He's got 13.
Alfred is a sniper. Great job of coming out of the timeout, getting a good look, and finishing.
Charge on Steve Toyloy.
That's a good job by Brandon getting in front of him. And I love how Elliott he never backs down. Right now you see him going chest to chest with the big fella. Love the mentality of Elliott, defending his teammates, going out there trying to be a leader. And this is a little selfish, but I want him to tote the rock a little bit. He's feeling himself.
So Elliott Glegg only shot a few times so far in this ball game with 2 points, but he's coming off a 21-point game where he went 4 of 7 from beyond the arc, and Terrell Alfred kind of keeping pace with the way he played yesterday. Gullett spinning in underneath. Foul on the floor.
That's a good job by Gullett banging down. That's a good adjustment by Claremont to put Kyle Clark on there, a little bit more beef to handle the strength of Grant Gullett. Still going to send that double team if Gullett starts to prove problematic on that block.
Blake going left. And now another foul on Steve Toiloy.
In this situation for the Flight, it's kind of simple. Just continue to pound it in the block. It's been getting them fouls. You're going to get them in foul trouble, force them to play less aggressive down the stretch.
We're all tied up here at 42 with 8.5 minutes to go in the second quarter of the final game here this season. Winner takes all. Bounce pass down to the left side. Gullett in on Toiloy. Back out to Moss, guarded by Kyle Clark. This is a good matchup as well. Clark, a good defensive player in the FBA, and they win that battle. Kenny Long the steal and goes coast to coast. The Crocs with the lead.
Another turnover, turning into offense for the Crocs, doing a good job defensively. Oh, my.
Alfred fading away and missed it left.
The handle on Terrell Alfred is just uncanny, unable to get that one to finish. So you know what I got to say. $1 million move, 10-cent finish.
Clark one step in from the arc. Now here's Moss. Moss left side underneath. That was the blatant travel.
And plays like that fire this Croc squad up. That's what makes them so problematic. They get fired up over defense, the nitty-gritty, the dirty. Plays like that get them so pumped up, so crunk, they're ready to go on offense and they're ready to go on a run. They're poised in position to let it off.
Moss has played a couple minutes in this ballgame, but he's already in a double-double watch. Long misses that one. Tipped around, Reynolds recovers. Now left side and goes back with the right.
Jesse, 2 offensive boards, giving them 3 attempts at the basket from point-blank range. That is just unacceptable for the Flight. However, that's phenomenal effort by the Crocs.
46-42, Grant Gullett left side, Elliot Glegg. Good job with the defense by Kenny Long.
Oh, there's clamps.
Alfred fading away, shot clock violation. Coach King upset.
Naturally, what he's mad about, the whistle blew before the shot clock horn went off, and that's the discrepancy here. Because it's a bad shot 100%, but then you let the horn blow and then you blow the whistle.
Yeah. So Coach King pleading his case.
This is game 7.
Yeah.
This is game 7. This is for all the marbles. This is what you play for. This is a true rivalry game. Season record split, playoff record split. This is as tight as it gets, Jesse.
Hoff can't hang on to that one. Touched by the Crocs last. Glegg to the left side. Coaches Maxi Luna and Coach King having a few words with each other.
Jesse, I love the atmosphere right now. You got coaches going back and forth, players going back and forth.
You and I going back and forth.
Everyone's
really.
going back and forth.
It's
only a 4-point discrepancy on the scoreboard. This is what you want. First half, relatively high scoring, and it's a tit-for-tat game.
Jerry's camera angles are going back and forth as well.
Air balls are going back and forth.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my.
Hoff inside. Moss got a finger on that one. Reynolds left that one short. Moss the rebound.
That's the Moss effect. That's a dime drop by Cornelius, but the Moss effect is in effect.
Gullett for 3. Got it!
That's a walk-off 3 if I ever seen one. Phenomenal job by Grant to make a big-time bucket.
46-45 game. Claremont Crocs up by 1. Clark, left side. Moss, another rebound.
That's what this game needed. A quick shot, and now the pace is ratcheted back up.
A quick bullet over to the left side. Winfrey. Yes, sir! Good for 3.
6-point turnaround just like that. Big-time players make big-time plays. Even though it's the second quarter, that's huge.
48-46. Kenny Long tying it back up.
That's why this game is a rivalry. As soon as it's a quick score on the other end, Kenny Long comes right back with a bucket of his own.
Alfred back up top. Gullett almost lost that one. Now goes right through the traffic, left side. Alfred along 2. And here's Reynolds. Shot won't count. Hoth fouled on the floor.
Love the ball rotation by the Flight offense on the other end. And for the Crocs, doing a great job of penetrating, just not able to finish these past couple of times. Granted, Kenny Long, who's just coming out, he did a phenomenal job of really carrying the offense when there's been lulls and guys weren't making their shots. But right now, just got to find a way to put points on the board.
Bates in for Winfrey. Blocked by Moss down low. Wow. His elevator goes up 5 more stories than anybody else's. Maybe besides Grant Gullett.
Definitely, and now they're putting some athletes on the court of their own. Nick Turner, I think he has a 40-inch vertical as well.
Bates guarding Mo Williams out beyond the arc, who kicks it left. Reynolds spotting up and left that one just a little bit short. Moss the rebound.
Good job boxing out, going back to fundamentals. This is going to be a good matchup between Nick Turner and Brandon Moss.
Gullett down low, has that one knocked away by Cody Hoth. And the pass to the right side, just a little bit wide for Cornelius Reynolds.
Just off, just not on the same page. Cornelius wanted to cut, attack the basket. Montel wanted him to spot up in that corner.
Here comes the Flight going left to right. The steal from Reynolds. Reynolds pushing the ball and a laser down low, a little bit strong for Cody Hoth.
That's the break that the Flight needed. This Croc defense seems impenetrable.
Down low, Moss couldn't jam that one in. And somehow grabs his own rebound, but stepped out.
That's a great job by Nick Turner, rising up and not allowing him to catch that cleanly. That's the only way to really stop an alley-oop. You got to jump and try to get it before it gets in the hands of the ball handler.
Now back to Reynolds, who's been the leading scorer for the Crocs all series, all season, and you can see why there. Hitting a 3 in the face of the defense. Cornelius Reynolds with 17 points. Romello Bates to the right side. Another 3 on the way. Elliot Glegg has been a sight for sore eyes all season long. The Flight tie it back up, 51 apiece.
Back and forth we go. 3-point contest.
Mo Williams fouled. So foul on the floor. That foul goes against Romello Bates. It's his first of the ball game. Here comes Mo Williams to the line. 76% free throw shooter. This season has had many opportunities to play abroad, and actually played abroad mid-season this year before he came back. And now playing here in the championship. It's a good tandem seeing him and Kenny Long rotate in for each other.
Love it. They bring two different dynamics to the game, and Kenny Long wants to push the pace and really thrives in transition, whereas Mo Williams wants to set it up and really run the offense and find guys and facilitate. Love the way that they complement each other. Two combo guards at their finest.
Bates a little bit strong to the left.
You wanted to see how high Elliot Glegg's elevator went.
53-51, Crocs up by 2. If you're just joining us, we have 3 minutes and 9 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Jesse O alongside Alvin Delvey and Jerry Pettit, with Braden Carter and Brandon Parham on staff today.
Got a mismatch on the block.
Reynolds guarded by Moss. Now inside to the right, banks it in.
That's a great take by Korn.
Bates, Alfred wide open. Moss the rebound, a bullet into Gullett, and Gullett putting it through. Moss the assist. Gullett with 10.
But one play initiated by the effort of Romello Bates.
Down low, there's the mismatch and a block by Moss. Reynolds saw Elliot Glegg and thought he had an easy shot. Moss came in out of nowhere. Reynolds the steal and the turnover by Alfred, and Alfred will steal it right back. Alfred, Bates down low, and Gullett slamming it down. He's got 12. The Flight tie it back up at 55 with under 2 minutes to go.
That's a big time possession for the Flight.
Clark to the left. Mo Williams one step in from the arc. And Clark putting it through.
Kyle Clark doing all the intangibles, getting that offensive board, putting it right back up.
Bates to Alfred, who's been on fire. He's the leading scorer for the Flight right now with 13. Glegg, right corner, puts it up off the front side of the rim, and the rebound by Cornelius Reynolds. The Flight having the shot clock work against them. A good part of this ball game so far.
Well, it's really just a testament to this Croc defense. They're forcing them into difficult situations, forcing them to lose the ball, and not able to handle it cleanly.
And they completely out-rebound the Flight as well. Cody Hoff banking it in, extending the lead to 4, 59-55.
Cody banging on the block and keeping his balance. What a tremendous athlete he is.
43 seconds left in the second. Glegg misses that one. Moss the rebound and goes up strong. 2-point game.
This is the back and forth action you would expect out of a Game 7 between two premier squads in this league.
Hoff to the right side. 26 seconds left to go. And Clark banking it in. Clark now with 18 points. 22 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Romello Bates to run the point for the Flight, who are trailing by 4. Grant Gullett, left side, fading away. The Kobe shot, no good. Reynolds the rebound. Shot clock is off. Game clock is at 3 seconds. Reynolds, right side. Clark got it off in time. And he couldn't put it through. A 4-point lead for the Claremont Crocs at the half. The Flight have been historically a second half team, but can they kind of keep up to the pace of the Claremont Crocs? We know the Claremont Crocs come out hot at the beginning of the games. Alvin, what did you like in the first half by both teams, and what do they both need to work on to win this final game of the year?
Love the effort by the Croc organization. I love how they're able to just will their way to making plays. Their defense has done tremendous wonders for them and forcing them to be in great situations offensively, and they had a lot of runouts and things of that nature, and I just love the way that they played together. For the Flight, I really liked how they came out and early on. They're knocking down shots and they're moving the basketball around, and now that's the primary focus of their offense, moving the basketball around. However, What I think the Flight need to work on is just energy. It's just the effort level that's a little lacking. Or it may not even be lacking. More so, the Crocs are just outshining them in that department. They're getting offensive boards, doing things of that nature. So for the Crocs, they're playing their hearts out. They're playing their best game versus the Flight. I believe they could do better in the energy department.
The Flight completely getting out-rebounded this game by the Claremont Crocs, who had 60 rebounds in their last game. So who will win this final game here in the FBA? It's winner takes all. One more half of basketball left in the season, so stick with us. This is something you do not want to miss.
At Envy Labs, we build web applications that start with an idea. They move through strategy and need an outside eye ahead of wireframes and technical specifications. There's design and layout and functionality, but there's also performance, things like accessibility and data visualization. It all comes together for what ultimately is a successful launch. Over the past decade, Envy Labs has built platforms that pair things like data and sports or environmental science. We've built technical training platforms around data science and around network administration, and we've bootstrapped and sold our own product. We are a temporary CTO and an outside specialist in strategy, design, and development. It takes a lot to go from idea to launched web application, but it's all right there in our name. Reach out to hello@envylabs.com and let's take a look at your idea together.
Burgers, fries, and shakes Oviedo Mall. Best burger you'll ever eat. It's worth the drive.
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see some of you soon.
World where one girl goes on endless adventures, gives you unbelievable toy unboxings, does insane food challenges, and plays way too much Roblox. It's Elle's Adventures. Subscribe now. Do it. Why not?
Holy cow, it's Nova Rex, the 80s legends. I want the keto. I want the double Diablo.
Cheddar bacon.
I'll take a double cheeseburger with extra cheese.
To go. Here you go, boy. Hey guys, I play a little guitar myself. How about me joining the band? Show us what you got, man. What's up, dudes? What do you think?
Yeah, man, it's pretty good, but you need more hair.
But the Mooyah burgers were great. Mooyah burgers rock!
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see some of you soon.
Florida mangroves. Beautiful sight for sore eyes, and sight for sore eyes will be the basketball, as this is the final game of the season. The second half just about to be played. Second half of the season. Jesse O, that's Alvin Delvey. Jerry Pettit sits to my left. Alvin, both coaches who you had a conversation with at the half. One a little bit more fiery than the other, but what are their thoughts?
So to start with, Coach Maxi Luna, they just want to get back to falling in love with the game. You know, it's a Sunday, you know, it's the Lord's Day, so they want to come in, really show their gratitude. Their positive mindset has just been oozing in all of their players throughout this entire game. Even in pregame, you see the guys just really focused on being appreciative for having this opportunity. And from that, and having that mindset of gratitude and grace, you come into this game, you're able to compete and do the things that we've seen them do, especially in that second quarter. It just comes from mindset, mentality, understanding the position you're in, understanding the blessing that you have, and to take that and do it the most you can with it. So that's really their mindset. It's just being who they are and the best at that. And that comes in defense, rebounds, energy, and effort. On the other end, we're seeing the Florida Flight and Coach King. His belief is that they don't have too much offensive continuity. As you recall in their last game, when they won, ball was being moved around. It was kind of, you can understand the structure of the game, and in their game that they lost, there wasn't that much structure. So trying to go back to that and find a good balance between having structure and having guys ISO it out. But that's going to be their main focus offensively, and defensively have to figure out a way to attack that double team, protect that block, sending a double team, and then rotating out of it.
61-57 is the score at the half. Cody Hoth will start things off with a 3. And the rebound won by the Flight. So here comes Romello Bates. So the Flight go with Moss, Bates, Winfrey, Gullet, and Alfred. That one's missed down low by the Flight. Here's Long through the traffic and couldn't make it. Steve Toyloy the rebound. And a foul on the floor. Steve Toyloy telling his team make the layup.
You know, and that's good and all, but at the same time, at some point, the player knows I missed the layup. You know,
Yeah.
if you're going to the basket and you miss it, you all know you missed the layup, you got to make it. So at some time, that leadership, you got to find a way to make it positive.
For the Claremont Crocs, it's Reynolds, Clark, Toyloy, Long, and Hoth. 3 made! Cornelius Reynolds, first made shot of the second half.
That's a bucket. Coming out at the break, Cornelius Reynolds clearly on fire.
64-57. We are in Alvin's money quarter. Pass just a little bit strong from Brandon Moss.
And lately in these finals, what we've seen, the money quarter has not gone in the favor of the Flight. In fact, it has been the Crocs money quarter. Crocs have been really cooking in the crock pot, if you will, with this money quarter. And in the fourth quarter, we've seen the Flight take off.
Toyloy saves that one. Now pass right side. Reynolds again. Just off the mark. Clark the rebound. Flight getting beat on the boards this game. Long, not typical three-point shooter. And now Clark stepped out.
Now, that defensive rotation by the Flight was figureheaded, and really the only one doing it was Terrell Alford. He closed out on the corner 3, and then he's the same one to close out on the 3 from the wing. So as a team, they have to do a better job of closing out.
28 rebounds for the Claremont Crocs, 21 for the Florida Flight. So the Flight getting beat in the rebounds game here as well. Grant Gullett powering his way down low.
Once again, Grant Gullett doing Grant things.
64-59, a 5-point lead for Claremont. Cody Hoth inside, rises and puts it through.
It's a good shot for a guy like Cody Hoth, a prolific shooter for this Croc organization. In their game 1 appearance, dropped 3 of 6 from beyond the arc right there, coming off that screen and knocking it down.
Alfred made some room and he pushed off. (66-59). Long to the right, over Moss. That one, he can't get it to fall. Bates, the bounce pass down low. Moss inside, misses that one, and the tip in is good.
Just the energy and effort by both of these teams is just staggering right there. Brandon Moss on the second effort gets it to go.
Still a 5-point game. The bounce pass down low to Toyloy, held by Moss.
Steve Toyloy is going to be one of those guys that they're talking about doubling. Just too strong to ask one man to bang with him on the block, unless, you know, it's Adam Waldo.
Reynolds inside. Toyloy remains unbeaten.
And that communication is going to have to get figured out. They got to figure out a way to do that. If you're going to front him, but that backside help has to come. You can't allow that pass to happen and him to get an easy reverse layup.
Bates into Moss. Moss traveled.
Money quarter once again being won by the Crocs. They seem like they can do no wrong. Offense working, defense working.
The money quarters have been good to the Claremont Crocs. Hoth guarded by Gullett. Now the bounce pass into Toiloy, guarded by Moss. Toiloy spins left, and now puts it up and through. Steve Toiloy eating on the glass.
Just too big, too strong on that block.
Flight trail by 9, Romello Bates in the lane, and a push in the back.
Right now, trying to get some beef on Steve and free up Brandon Massa. Do his thing offensively, really.
Adam Waldo played a great defensive game yesterday. 7 rebounds and had the tough task of guarding Steve Toiloy. And now Gullett making some room up top. Grant Gullett, a couple threes in the ball game. And now the lead back to only 6 for the Claremont Crocs. Underneath, Moss almost had a steal there.
That's great effort. And that's all it takes for the Flight. It takes one big play for them to get riled up and ready to go, just like the Crocs. Crocs get that spark defensively. The Flight get it from a big shot.
Toiloy against Waldo. And Waldo the foul.
Hey, you let that happen. You're going to bang with him on a block, make him earn it, because you know that's his weak point.
Toiloy this year, 48% from the free throw line, Alvin.
Send him there every time. Give him all 5. Especially if you're in there for defense and rebounds.
That one bounces in for Toiloy. And as a team, the Claremont Crocs shoot 65%. The Flight just a little bit better at 67 from the stripe. Toiloy making of both of them. 10 points. That's as many as he had last game, but very efficient in both of the games. 7 of 9 in the first game, 5 of 8 here in the second game.
Now, if Steve Toiloy is making his free throws, that's going to prove problematic because now that foul tactic does not work. Right there, Brandon exploding to the rim. And guys offensively want that foul.
Bates out beyond the arc on the left side. They throw it corner. Brandon Moss left that one short. 72-64. Long. Toiloy. Guarded by Waldo. I like this matchup. Moss the steal. And it goes out off of Cornelius Reynolds last.
That was a good job trying to facilitate, similar to what Draymond Green does for the Warriors by Steve, but unable to get that pass into Cornelius because Brandon Moss outstretched hands. Good effort.
If you're the Flight, I think you just need to give the ball to Grant Gullett. Romello Bates off to the left. Gullett has 19 points and is easily the leading scorer in the game for the Flight. Long steps back, screen from Toiloy. Now dancing around Bates, right side, gets through the traffic. So shifty and able to find his way down Broadway in the lane.
Kenny Long with the rock is a problem. So deceptive with his dribble, his hesitations.
Alfred, cross court, Bates, Moss, a pump fake, lost it. Hoth to Reynolds. And Reynolds is going to have to slow things down. But before he slowed it down, he stepped out.
Well, that's a good effort by Kenny Long right there. You see him a little disgusted. Great hand on Brandon to get that ball out. You want Kenny Long to get that ball right back. He just did that incredible handle with the dribble and got that bucket. You want to see him get that ball back after getting the steal.
A 10-point lead for the Claremont Crocs. Bates turns it over. Quite a few turnovers here in the third quarter, and another one right back by the Crocs. A 3 on the way! Grant Gullett! Who else but the man who is the leading scorer? He's got 22.
It's Grant's game. Look at his face. He's wired in. He's ready to go. He needs the ball. He needs it now.
Long fouled as he was going towards the basket.
Love the way Kenny Long has approached this game. Been so aggressive but at the same time, he doesn't take away from the offense. He just needs his touches. Right there, he gets the touch, gets very aggressive, gets downhill, and gets a nice trip to the free throw line.
Elliot Glegg and Billy Aristide coming in for Waldo and Bates.
Now if you're the Flight, just trying to play chess with these matchups. Elliot Glegg coming in, and you know that's immediate offense.
The free throws off the front for Kenny Long, who shoots them 53% from the charity stripe as a guard.
That's definitely tough. That's not where you want to be, especially as a guard. You want to be up in the upper 70 percentile, preferably in the 80 percentile, but able to split his free throws right there, staying true to his percentage. However, he's going to have to make up for it come down the stretch.
Long with 13. Glegg, right side, Aristide known to hit the threes from the corner. That's his spot. Billy Aristide, 2 made threes in the ball game.
That's a great job by Billy, spotting up and knocking it down.
And that foul will go against Billy Aristide. Now Cornelius Reynolds to the line. 5 minutes and 1 second to play. And a 5-point difference between the score in these two teams.
Desperation starting to mount up. As we can see, there's been a lot of lulls in the action. A lot of turnovers in this quarter. Very messy quarter for both of these two teams. Just trying to figure out a way to get this to go.
Reynolds, first one is good.
Reynolds has just been phenomenal for his team. Last game, put up 30 points, but get this, 20 rebounds. In the finals, he has out-rebounded Steve Toiloy in both games. So Cornelius Reynolds averaging the most points and the most rebounds for his team.
Reynolds is the leading scorer in the ball game with 24. Glegg, left side, now in the corner. Moss around the traffic and lays it in.
The outstretched hand of Brandon Moss proves the most efficient way to get buckets on that possession.
77-72. Left side, Clark, cross court. That was a bullet. Cody Hoff able to hang on to it. Now will try to go up for a layup of his own. Grant Gullett the rebound. Now through the traffic on the floor, fell down. Billy Aristide recovers, right side. Terrell Alfred, long ball. Moss the rebound. And tapped on the putback.
That's a great hand.
Moss ahead and puts it down.
That's a great hand to get that defensive possession and get that into offense.
Crocs by 3. Under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Reynolds off to the left. Grant Gullett. Another big rebound. Gullett in another double-double watch as well. He'll go right. Euro step, puts it through. Flight trail by 1.
The European two-step in traffic. Grant Gullett deep in his bag once again with the physicality. Love that for Grant Gullett and this Flight team.
A timeout taken by head coach Maxi Luna. They got to quell this run that the Flight are on here in the money quarter. 77-76. We'll be back in 55 seconds. The Flight on a 9-2 run in the last 2 minutes of the game. A 77-76 game. Mo Williams off the mark on that one. Nicholas Turner the rebound. He'll pass out left side. Elliot Glegg the rebound. Glegg will fire a three. Moss the rebound and the putback. The Flight take the lead by 1.
That was great communication on the fly by Brandon Moss, telling Elliott, pull that up, I will get the board. And sure enough, it worked out just like that, getting positioning on that offensive board.
Here's Reynolds. Now Hoth, mid-range. Glegg slowing things down up to Aristide. Right corner, Moss, one dribble and a three. Boom!
That's a big bucket. Quick turnaround for Brandon Moss. Nice 5-point swing to get this quarter going.
81-77, Mo Williams up top, off to the left side. Glegg, his mid-range, bona fide! Elliot Glegg with 7 points, was 2 of 6 in the ballgame before that shot. And who else but Glegg when you need a big shot hit? It is Mr. Elliot Glegg. Here's Cornelius Reynolds in an 83-77 ball game. They trail here in the money quarter. Reynolds out to Clark. 1:51 to go in the third. Clark up with the left hand. He's fouled by Caleb Winfrey.
When it rains, it pours for the Flight. 7-0 run coming out of that timeout break. Right now, Cal Clark has an opportunity to put some points on the board for his team, but man, how about the efficiency from this Flight squad coming out of that break?
So now they'll bring back in Steve Toiloy, who seemed to be the only deterrent for the Flight this game.
And he's done a phenomenal job just doing what it takes. And what he's doing doesn't necessarily appear on the stat sheet, but it means so much. Is the glue to every successful organization. You got to have a guy who's going to deter shots, who's going to hustle on the court, and really just be a nuisance for the opposing team.
Clark puts 2 through. Now he's got 20 points. A 14-4 run here in the third quarter by the Florida Flight. Moss putting it through. 85-79. Brandon Moss with 20 points. Here's Mo Williams up top, going left, taken away by Glegg. Glegg the steal, throws it ahead to Moss. Winfrey recovers. Aristide to Moss. Moss will be double teamed. Now Nicholas Turner will shy off. Moss, another turnover. Williams and Reynolds, an easy basket underneath. Lead back, cut to 4 for the Flight.
Once again, getting back on defense has proven problematic for the Flight, and the Crocs have taken advantage. Their transition offense is booming.
Moss in the lane and puts it in. A foul on the floor.
Right there, Brandon has a good case. Now, granted, the refs has called a solid game thus far, making sure that they're only calling the egregious ones, letting these guys play. But if you're not going to call the one for Brandon, you don't call that one. And that's what the Flight from top to bottom really are going after. But still got to give credit to these refs. They're doing a solid job of trying to mediate the best they can.
That's 3 on Caleb Winfrey. He got into foul trouble last game, had 5 personal fouls. And 5 team fouls now on the Flight here in the third quarter with 47.1 seconds left to go.
Caleb's just done a phenomenal job and the true definition of a clutch performer. In their fourth quarter last game, put up all of his points when they needed it most, starting with that huge mid-range jump shot that kind of ignited the offense, and from there just could do no wrong.
Mo Williams splits the free throws. He's got 3 points. Flight by 5. Glegg to the left, guarded by Williams. Moss out beyond the arc. And we'll give it back to Gullett, who's been the leading scorer. A long 3 just off the front side of the rim.
He pulled that from Lillard range.
Williams to Reynolds, and Reynolds kissing it off the glass. A 3-point lead for the Flight. Reynolds with 28 points in the ball game and is the leading scorer. 9 seconds on the game clock. The shot clock is off here in the money quarter. Gullett, 2 seconds left to go. Into the lane. Foul, banked it in! Grant Gullett with a flex down underneath.
Big time players make big time plays. Waves off Brandon Moss. Brandon Moss wants that shot. Grant Gullett says, no, buddy, I got this one. Takes it hard to the rack and gets the and one. That's a phenomenal job by Grant Gullett, Mr. 30 for 30 himself. Wow. How does he get a shot like that to go in? Just absolutely smothered. That's phenomenal defense by Nick. Going up and doing all he can, but Grant is just stronger on that possession. He wants it just a little bit more, able to get that one to go. And now he has a chance to cap that off.
It's a great job by Nicholas Turner just meeting the challenge. He's been an up-and-coming player in the FBA as well. Gullett can't make the free throw as time expires on the floor. The money quarter comes to an end. The Flight up by 5. The final quarter of regulation in the FBA season up and coming. Who will be crowned the FBA champion? We'll find out in just a sec.
Poly Wealth Management is an innovative provider of wealth management and financial planning services. For over 2 decades, our advisors have been providing clients with sound, professional, and unbiased financial advice, investment management, and wealth planning. Our philosophy has remained unchanged through the years, and that is to make what can be a complex process straightforward and easy to understand. We specialize in the creation and protection of wealth through comprehensive financial, insurance, and retirement planning.
A roller coaster of a season. And it comes down to this. The final quarter of regulation in the FBA playoffs. Series tied 1-1. The Florida Flight and the Claremont Crocs. Alvin, your money quarter turned out to be everything we could have wanted from it.
Exactly. Crocs came out firing to come out of the halftime break, and then Flights came roaring back to cap it off with an emphatic Grant Gullett and one.
Moss. And a foul on the floor.
Man, this game has been everything we expected it to be. Game 3.
Turnover by the Flight. Here's Long. Reynolds through the lane. Couldn't make it. His second chance is good. A 3-point game.
Good job being patient by Korn. Waiting for Grant to fly by.
and get an easy look at the basket.
Reynolds with 30. Grant Gullett up top, stepping back, cross court. Winfrey, a pump fake left. And now will go that direction himself. Steps back for 3. That was his first missed 3 of the ball game. Cody Hoff, the rebound. Long left side. Now up top, Clark hits the 3. Tie ball game.
Cal Clark's game is just so smooth. The trailing late, arriving, and thriving. Big time shot by Cal Clark.
Moss up top. Steps back for 3. Aristide, a good fight for the rebound. Gullett wins it from the outside. Aristide into Moss. One dribble. Left side. Winfrey, corner 3. A loose ball foul against our side.
Right now you're starting to see emotions boil. This is a controlled environment, but these guys are ready to implode. 10 minutes and 31 seconds left in this, well, regulation game. If it goes into overtime, we'll handle that. But
sounds like you want it to go in overtime.
Of course I want it to. This is 6 months brewing. This is a split action from both guys. 2 for the flight, 2 wins for the flight, 2 wins for the Crocs. This is the tiebreaker. This is for all the marbles. This is for the hardware.
Long puts it through. A 2-point lead for the Claremont Crocs. They haven't had this since the early part of the third quarter.
And Kenny Long understands the assignment. Got the Kyrie's on. He understands what Kyrie did against their Warriors. He's trying to do it himself.
Gullett tried to bring it right back. And a 9-0 run by the Claremont Crocs to start off this fourth quarter.
That is not someone you leave alone. Cody Hoff has been efficient from mid-range.
Blake misses that one to the left. Tensions brewing in the building. Reynolds up top, off to the right. Clark a 3, boom! Kyle Clark extending the lead.
Wow, talk about hustle and converting by Cal Clark. Phenomenal job by the Crocs to go on this run and maintain it for so long.
Moss inside, fouled in transition and made the shot, and continuation is what they'll say. It's a good call.
Wow. That's how you end the run.
I love how much you say wow. You're so surprised.
Well, I'm just happy right now. This is exactly where I want to be. You know, a great run by the Croc organization to just light it up, hustle on both ends of the court, but then more importantly, capitalize. You got a guy hustling and an inbound pass and it ends in a 3, and then you go back on the other end and you play great defense. But Brandon Moss, a great job of showing up, arriving, and throwing it down, getting the and one opportunity.
You know what I say to that? Wow.
I love it. 3 letters put together. Who knew if you sandwich a O and 2 W's, you get such an emphatic word.
So Moss missed the free throw on the other side. A 12-2 run by the Claremont Crocs here in the fourth quarter. Unbelievable.
That's a great job by the Claremont to just go on a run like that.
96-91, 8 minutes and 43 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter.
And Cornelius Reynolds is the one suffering injury right now, and he's down bad. And obviously, you want to see him be healthy for him, but man, if you're Crocs, he's been your workhorse. He's been leading your team in rebounds. He's been leading your team in points. He's been leading your team in steals. And I think, yeah, that.
So we're getting word that he says he thinks he tore it. That's what he said. And he has to be carried off the floor. That is not a good sight for the Claremont Crocs. Cornelius Reynolds with 30 points in this ball game.
Man.
As well as 12 rebounds and 7 assists, 4 steals. That's good for enough on the team in all 3 of those categories. 4 of those categories, actually. He leads the team in points, rebounds, assists, and steals in the ball game. He's holding his head right now, and that is not a good sight. The Crocs do have the next man up mentality. So now they have to win this for him. Cody Hoth now at the line. Makes the first one. And it's a scary thing to see one of your best players go down. If you're head coach Maxie Luna, it's, you know, how do you keep your cool in a situation like that? Obviously, this is a winner-go-home game. This is the pinnacle of the FBA scene, but at the same time, he's worried about his guys. So I definitely think, you know, from a head coaching perspective, it puts you in a tough spot.
Well, definitely. You want to put it in God's hands at that point. There's nothing you can do as Brandon Moss with the lethal spin move and finishing on the block. But it's a situation where you don't really have any power. You really want your man to do well, and you hope he recovers, and it's a minimal injury. But then for your team, he's leading your team in points, rebounds, steals, and right now he's leading the game in assists. So a big-time player for your team.
Travel by Grant Gullett as he was trying to get up the floor. 98-93 the score. He was trapped down low. Steve Toyloy. Cody Hoth doing a good job of laying the trap down to the left side of the basket. Here's Clark to inbound. In a 98-93 game, Kenny Long up top running the point. They're playing without Cornelius Reynolds. Long. Another travel on the other side.
And that's really been the issue in this game. It's just been the turnovers. Some of them forced, but a lot of them have been unforced. So now, the Flight trying to pick up on this lack of energy from the Crocs right now. They suffered a huge blow by losing Cornelius Reynolds, leading them in 4 categories this finals. Now trying to figure it out. But for the Flight, this is exactly the time to put the foot on the gas.
Romello Bates to the left side. The flip up, no good. Toyloy fighting for the rebound down low. Still a 5-point lead for the Claremont Crocs. Donnell Nelson is in the game. Nelson throws it inside, taken away by Glegg. Bates, right side, missed Moss.
Right there, Brandon Moss trying to get to the basket attack, whereas Romello just trying to move the ball around the horn. Quick touch passes, and right there, that's just a chemistry issue. Both guys have good ideas.
Mo Williams to the right, Long, Williams, Toyloy down at the left block. Clark was cutting towards the basket and was fouled. That one off the front side of the iron.
Free throws are going to prove crucial in this game. As in every other game, it's just magnified even more so because now you're going to have an extended amount of time to think about all of your missed free throws if it comes down to the wire and you lose.
Clark with 27.
What a game he's been having.
Grant Gullett all the way inside to the basket.
So strong, able to bully his way past defenders, but finish so graciously.
Clark, other side, able to make one right back. 6-point lead for the Crocs.
Capitalizing on some lackluster defense of the flight. The Crocs done a great job of moving the basket, but an even better job of cutting and then finishing.
Cody Hoth the steal, other side. And airballed it. Kenny Long there to make the putback.
That's a great job by Cody to be aggressive.
Pass down low to Gullett, and Gullett has that one stolen away. Kenny Long, other side. To Steve Toyloy all the way down low by himself. A 10-point lead for the Crocs. Claremont behind Steve Toyloy and Kenny Long leading the charge. Coach King needs a timeout. Winner takes all. The final game here in the FBA. We're halfway through the final quarter of regulation here in Game 3, the final game in the FBA Finals. We're all tied up at 1 apiece. Claremont Crocs win Game 1. The Florida Flight win Game 2 without Brandon Moss. He's back here. Cornelius Reynolds is out. He feared that something in his leg has gone terribly wrong. Glegg on a catch and shoot couldn't make that one, but Cornelius Reynolds went down a couple minutes ago and has not been able to get back up, in a scary sight for the Claremont Crocs.
But they've been doing a great job of having the next man up mentality, and Montel Williams doing a phenomenal job of dishing, and the rest of the Croc organization doing a great job of picking up his slack the best way they can.
Toyloy outside. Cody Hoth the rebound and fouled as he went up again.
Great job by Cody being aggressive, getting another possession for this Croc team. But man, this is a game. 10-point discrepancy in the scoreboard. Effort going crazy for the Crocs. However, for this Flight team, we know what they're capable of as Cody Hoth knocks down a big free throw. We understand what they're capable of in their last victory, and even in their first Game 1 loss. Final 5 minutes, they usually turn it on, but this is kind of scary if you're Mark King and the Flight.
A 23-6 run, make that 8. So 23-8 run here in the fourth quarter for the Claremont Crocs, and Brandon Moss brings that back within 10, so a 107-97 game. Here's Mo Williams up top. One step in from the arc, it's good! Mo Williams with 5.
Utilizing that, the fact that they're going under the screen, and he got a nice mid-range jumper to go. Great job by Mo Williams, adjusting on the fly.
Grant Gullett surveying the floor, steps back for 3, hit him all game! Grant Gullett is on fire!
At some point, we got to give him balls back. He is lighting it up from beyond the arc.
Gullet with 31. Outside, Mo Williams will try one himself. He swishes it through.
Anything you can do, I can do better. Great job by Mo Williams to answer back. Grant Gullet has that look in his eye. I'm excited to see what he's going to do this possession.
A 12-point lead for the Claremont Crocs. Gullet outside again. That one just rims out. Romello Bates has the rebound knocked away by the Crocs.
But that's a great job by Romello to attack the boards. That's a good job. Almost knocking it in. That one just rolls out from under Grant Gullet.
Here comes the inbound. Into Moss, who throws it down. The alley-oop going towards the basket remains unrivaled for Brandon Moss, who now has 30 points himself. So a 50-point game in the first game in the FBA Finals. 30 here in the fourth quarter with 3:40 left to go. And a 10-point deficit for the Florida Flight. Clark baseline into Toyloy. Back out. Mo Williams pump fakes against Romello Bates. Steps back, misses that one wide right. It's an air ball. And here comes the Flight.
Now this is where it's crunch time situation. 3:28 left on the clock. This is what you play for. Game 3 situation. You are down 10 if you're the Flight. You are up 10 if you're the Crocs. Crocs have to find a way to take care of the basketball, make shots, and play aggressive defense with the lead. And the Flight have to figure out a way to bear crawl their way, burrow their way into this lead, and find a way to come out on top.
Foul against the Crocs.
Wow, this is what you want if you're a basketball fan. Tensions are rising. Players are starting to shine. Let's see how this game's going to end.
Crocs with some good defense here. Moss for 3. Off the backside of the rim. Romello Bates with the recovery. Here comes the second chance for the Flight. Bates to the right. Alfred setting his feet. No. And Alfred in their last game was 4 of 15 from 3.
He started off hot, but he just kept on shooting them. But that's a great job by Romello Bates to penetrate, probing very deep and force the defense to collapse and kicking it out.
Kenny long shot is off the mark. Bates other way. Spinning off Williams. Up top. Glegg. And now Gullet against Hoth. Right side. Alfred another 3. He just can't seem to make one.
Can't seem to get the fire started, but he's getting great looks. Now you want to see maybe if Elliot Glegg can get some of those looks. So Elliott's going to have to do the same motion that Alfred's doing. Elliott's going to have to do the same thing so he could come pop free open on some of those 3 attempts.
Williams, no.
Now
here's Bates. They got to give it to Glegg. He hits big shots in big moments. Or Gullet. Alfred, back to Gullet. Gullet, off to the right. Could that be fatigue?
Now, exactly. But the thing is, in a situation like that, when you're down 10, these lulls in action play in favor of Crocs. Crocs they're in the driver's seat right now. The Flight, they're playing against time. They're fighting against time. They have to start going on a run, and it needs to start now.
112 to 102. Kenny Long up top. Going left, underneath. The basket is good! 114 to 102. A minute and a half separates the Claremont Crocs from their first FBA title. We'll come back in just a second. The Claremont Crocs, Kenny Long, are on the run of their lives. A minute and 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this game. A 15-7 run is what the Claremont Crocs are coming off of. Here's Bates underneath. The Flight need to get points on the board fast. Gullett, long three, off the front side. Kenny Long gets the rebound, and we'll bring it across the half-court line. A minute and 15 seconds left to go. Long spinning around Glegg. Now to the right side. Long underneath. Now to the left. Clark off the mark on that one. Cody Hoth, the board, and the putback! Could that be it? 59.2 seconds left to go. Clark stepping up in the absence of Cornelius Reynolds, and they get the steal. And it'll be called a foul.
What a possession by the Crocs. That Kenny Long is exactly the person you want to be the one to dribble the ball out. He's so crafty to lose it with the ball. He's able to stave guys off. He's so quick and agile. And then Cody Hoth finishes it off to give them a 14-point cushion with 52.9 left on the clock. Wow. What an effort by the Crocs to start this game and finish it. Really, the whole series, they adjusted their mindset coming off of their loss last game, Jesse. They realized that, talking to Coach Maxi Luna, understands that, in their last game, they just wanted to end it, whereas this game, just enjoy the process and play your hearts out, and it's proven to work.
Glegg off to the left side on the three. Gullett, the rebound. He couldn't make the putback. Steve Toyloy, the rebound with 44 seconds left to go. Here's Mo Williams.
Offense has not been working.
And it took him 8 seconds to get across the half-court line.
Now on this, right now the 8-second clock expired, not able to get across the timeline quick enough, but the Flight have to get offense going, but it seems like it's too little too late. 38 seconds to come up with 14 points.
Romello Bates now down the left lane, creates some room. Couldn't hit the shot, a lid on the basket for the Flight. Mo Williams across the half-court line. Now here's Kenny Long. Clark. Now Cody Hoth inside with 18.7 seconds left to go. 118 to 102. Romello Bates, 10 seconds on the clock. Gets around the traffic up top. Brandon Moss, final three of the season. Off the mark. 2 seconds left to go. The mighty have fallen. There's a new team on top of the throne in the FBA. The unlikely heroes down the reigning champs. The Claremont Crocs play their heart out. And what an amazing series that was, and an amazing performance by the Claremont Crocs. And the celebration just begins for them.
What a journey by Claremont coming in this year, fought through adversity, but stuck true to their culture, playing game in, game out the exact same way, with heart, with passion, with integrity, and immense focus. Hats off to this Claremont team, taking on the #1 team in the league, the reigning and defending champs. They're new champs in town, Jesse.
118 to 102, the final score, and we're gonna go into a break real quick and come back. We'll have lots of post-game coverage for you, including the MVP of the finals. So stick with us. 118 to 102 is the final score here. 118 to 102 is the final score in the last game of the FBA season. It was win or go home, and the Claremont Crocs were able to get it done in their first season here in the FBA. Jesse O alongside Alvin Delvey, and we are joined by the MVP of the finals, Mr. Cornelius Reynolds. Corn, it's so good to have you with us. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations on a win in your first season here in the FBA. You are the MVP of the playoffs and the championship. Just first off, how are you doing? We saw you go down there for a sec. Your leg, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. It was just a little pull, but I'm doing good.
So you had 30 points today, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals. You led the team in all of those categories. How hard do you practice to get here?
Oh, I practice every day. Every morning I get up, put shots up with me and Cal Clark, number 30. He'll call me. I'll call him like, bro, let's get some shots up. So that's what we do, and then we'll lift about 3 days out of the week. But we shoot every day, get conditioning in every single day.
And so now that you are an FBA champion, we're hoping that you come back next year. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So come back to defend the championship. For you at least, where did you learn your game, and where does your intensity come from?
Well, my mom, she played for Bethune-Cookman University, so I was always around the ball. So, as a little kid, I was just like kids out here right now, just dribbling the ball, shooting. And I remember when I was smaller, like I couldn't get a rebound. And my brothers was like, well, you want a rebound? We're not going to give it to you. So I used to just have to go get the rebound. That's how, I got the knack for the ball and just go get the rebounds like that. And, just the heart.
You dropped a tough game yesterday. What was your mentality coming back into today?
The mentality was just keep the guys up, It's hard losing, playoff, they tied it up 1-1. So I would just tell them, guys, it's one game. We have tomorrow. Just make it better tomorrow. And I promise you, we'll live with the results. Just play hard.
You went down there in the late third quarter, early fourth quarter, and you guys have this just next man up mentality. But was it hard for you cheering from the side, or did you know that your guys were going to get it done?
I know it wasn't hard at all. I'm a big cheer guy, happy all the time, smiling all the time. I knew they was going to get it done. I mean, like you just said, next man up.
Is there any final person you would like or people you would like to thank as you are now a 2021 FBA champion?
First and foremost, thank God for everything, because without him, we're nothing. So just thank God and thank my teammates.
Cornelius Reynolds, congratulations on the win. It's so good to have you with us. Enjoy the celebration.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Cornelius Reynolds here on the postgame show. We'll be right back with more from Orlando, Florida.
Coming in the 2021 FBA champions, first year head coach, Coach Maxi Luna. Take a second.
This is good. God is good. It's good.
Coming into this season, did you expect to be here, and what was your mentality, and how did it change from the start of the season, from the middle of the season, to where we are now?
I mean, when we first started, I truly, I mean, just being like honest, humbly, I mean, there's a lot of good teams and good coaches, so to come in first year, you don't really expect to be here, to be honest. Like, that's pretty crazy. Like I said at halftime, we really just wanted to concentrate not on winning, but being our best defense, being our best on rebounds, being our best in intensity. And we knew if we concentrated on the nuances and focus on the good thing. And you know, like you see, we're just sticking together and being family. Like, that's something I was just thankful today. I told them in the beginning, I said, I'm just thankful to be your coach, to be able to create a family and call you guys brothers. And I think thankfulness goes a long way. And no matter what, I was just wanted to be thankful to be here. And it's an honor. I mean, to coach against Mark, it's an honor. And I texted him, I was like, I'm just honored to coach against you. You've been here, you won. When you are around winners, you feel that energy. And I think from the beginning of this, we just had a dream to create a culture, to create a movement and a brand. And we love basketball, and we're just so glad to be able to represent and put some respect on the name of basketball. And all I can say is we're humbled, we're proud, and I knew when we were in the last game that I did expect to win then because of all the hard work. And you know, there's a saying, you know, pray like it's up to God, work like it's up to you. And that's all we got to do, and that's all we can do. So we here, we made it, and it feels good.
Congratulations, Maxi. Alvin, you have any other questions for our guy over here?
Wow, you just encompassed everything with that response, and I'm just proud of you, proud of what you've done, and love that you're a family-oriented guy, and we've watched you instill that culture into your team and the strides you guys come from, and you got two of your brothers on there, and the energy you guys bring game in, game out, the mentality, the resiliency. I love that. I'm excited to see you guys defend your championship next year. Enjoy this one. It's
crazy.
Sweet.
Love you guys. I appreciate you guys a lot. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It seems like, I guess it was 6 months ago, where you guys had me come over and I started interviewing all of your players just to get to know the guys, and you have a really good group of guys and a special talent and bond between you guys that was really impressive to see this season. So congratulations, Coach.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here. Humbled.
Head coach Maxi Luna now has an FBA ring here in 2021. When we return, more post-game show on the way, so stick with us. We're so lucky to be joined in the post-game by a lot of amazing people, and this guy is nonetheless amazing. Mr. Grant Gullett of the Florida Flight. You know, a tough loss, but we really appreciate you taking the time to come join us. Obviously, you guys didn't get what you wanted to done, but you still accomplished a lot this season. And can you just talk about just the influence that the FBA has kind of had on your life and your trajectory as a person?
Man, I think it all started in, 2018. Got out of college. We were actually going to go to China right before, I think it was like September or something. Trip got canceled. I stayed in Orlando, and I ended up going to China anyway. And I played overseas, and when I come back, I'd just be so confident, man. I got to still play in the FBA because, you know, when you come back from overseas, you're like, dang, where can you hoop? Man, I talked to Mark, come play with the Flay. I was like, cool. So we played. We got the chipped in. I mean, different story now, but these guys deserved it, man. They came out, they competed, they fighted the whole game. So hats off to them.
Alvin.
Now, my question is going to be more schematic-wise. Throughout the game, obviously, you played a stellar game. This is a great series for you, especially when you bounced back after that first game and just blossomed in that second game. And in this game, I feel like the start of the fourth quarter was when they started to pull away. And from there, what was your mentality? And did you feel it slipping, or what was like the adjustment you think that they beat you guys at?
So when we're on the court and we're all together, I never feel it slipping. So every time I look up at the clock and we're down like 10-9, I'm like, oh, we're fine.
I love it.
We're fine. So really, that's probably bad because me and B and Rel and everybody, we should probably take a step up and really sit down and guard, go get a bucket. But some of the shots we took were just ill-advised. They weren't great shots. And like I said, those boys, they were, man, on the boards, killed us. Cody was X factor.
Yes.
Cody, board, free throw. So, man. I think that's what killed us the most. It's just rebounds. If they don't get too many second chance points, that's a different game.
Yeah, you guys got out-rebounded every single game.
Yeah.
In the finals. Makes a big difference. But for you, at least, you got a lot of opportunities coming up, sir. A few G League tryouts.
Yeah.
How do you improve your game after seeing how you played here?
Well, when I go to the G League tryouts, they're not going to really know my style of play.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to do a lot more like pull-up jumpers, a lot more ball handling at the top of the key. Because, I mean, sometimes I do it here, but we got so many little guards, I kind of just let them have it. So I'll probably have to work on just coming off screen, shooting, some step backs, and then just driving to the paint and just getting up and dunking on people, man. Because a lot of times I'm getting the ball down low, and I don't really get that burst, and I'm not able to really gather and rise. So really just mainly that.
Watching your game progress this season has been so impressive. So that's just something I wanted to say. Alvin, your final question for Mr. Grant Gullett.
Where is Grant Gullett the most comfortable in an offensive setting? As you alluded to it earlier, giving me the opinion. Obviously, in my opinion, I believe a wing slasher when you get the ball and you're able to come off of a screen and do the things in that direction. But where do you see your game right now? Where do you want to take it?
Most comfortable. Man, I have two spots. I got two of my favorite spots. Actually, no, I got three. One, top of the key.
Okay.
Obviously.
Top of the key, and then another one is going to be that left extended block.
Oh,
I like it right there.
Udonis Haslem.
Yeah. And then I like it on either elbow. So I really like those spots. I don't really get it at the elbow much, but those other spots I really get it. I really love it. Man, and just elevating my game. I love trying to just kind of do that little hezzy pull-up. I shot a few of those today. I've been in the gym, man, working. I was killing myself this week. So, I mean, dang, I wish I could say it paid off, but I'm not. I'm mad, but I'm not too mad because they came out and they gave it to us.
Well, the cool thing is you got better, as we saw throughout the season. So if you keep going in that trajectory, sky's the limit for you, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
That's Grant Gullett here on the post-game show. When we return, one more segment as the Claremont Crocs got crowned the FBA champion. 118 to 102 was the final score here. Alvin, for the last time this season, let's pick our players of the game. Who do you got?
Easily Cornelius Reynolds. Even though he went out with that injury, the effort he produced on the court today was just phenomenal. But I have to give hats off to Kyle Clark. He came in and dominated his role. Cody Hoth did phenomenal this whole playoff run, and even more so in this game, especially in the crunch time situations. Kenny Long, phenomenal, doing a great job of just getting buckets whenever they needed them and answering back. Montel Williams did a phenomenal job of facilitating. All their guys on the Claremont Crocs side understood their role, understood the assignment, and they played it very well. But I got to give player of the game to the MVP of the finals, Cornelius Reynolds.
But an honorable mention has to be said for Kyle Clark. 29 points, 4 of 6 from the free throw line. He hit some big late game free throws, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and a block in that one. And you get this as plus minus this game, plus 16. Wow, it's not bad. His team was plus 16 when he was on the floor. For the Florida flight, obviously Grant Gullett ends this game with 31 points. Brandon Moss had 30. Both of them had double-doubles. And Terrell Alfred, the third scorer on the team with 13, but not enough for the Florida flight to get past the Claremont Crocs. Alvin, your final thoughts on the year as we wrap this up. It's both of our first years here in the FBA. We will be back better than ever, but your final thoughts on what you saw this year and the strides we made.
Well, to start off, I got to just talk about the growth of the Claremont Crocs to start this year the way they did. They came out hot and they finished even hotter to topple the #1 team in this league, and to do it in such an emphatic fashion, winning 2 and really breaking open their tiebreaker in the best way to do so. But even just overall, thank you for everyone who tuned in and watches us, and really we got to grow as broadcasters. I know for me specifically, got able to grow as the games went on and had a lot of fun doing it, changing venues and understanding how this game works and how it comes together from the broadcast standpoint outside of being an athlete. So just phenomenal to get this new perspective and just really etch that notch on my belt. It has been a fantastic year, and I'm excited to do it again.
It's been fun working with you, bud.
It has been.
And we're gonna keep going. Alvin and I do not stop. So we'll be back next year, and so will Jerry, and so will Mark King and everyone else. So for the final time this season, for Alvin Delvey, for Jerry Pettit, for Brandon Parham, for Braden Carter, for Mark King, and everyone else here that makes these broadcasts possible and makes this league happen, I'm Jesse O, saying good night from Orlando, Florida. 118 to 102 is the final score. The Claremont Crocs have now won their first FBA championship. The Crocs have redefined what it means to be a successful organization in their first year. As one of 3 expansion teams in the FBA, it may have seemed like the odds were stacked against them from the start. Rather than shy away from the challenges, they fully embraced the hand that they were dealt. It all started with a vision from the 2 known as the Lunatics. The Twins assembled a team that rivaled the very best of all of minor league basketball. And with the help of their older brother, Maxi Luna, as head coach, they were able to recruit and succeed where many have failed. Led by the solid tandem of Cornelius Reynolds, Kyle Clark, and Kenny Long, they devised a scheme that in the end was unbeatable, even against the best. Of course, we can't forget about the freight train, Steve Toiloy, who seemed to bring everything together. They now stand alone atop the FBA throne. Your 2021 champions of the FBA, the Claremont Crocs.